Thor versus Indra Part 4, sunwheelmagic.com, thunderwizard.com. Okay, so I want to get deeper into this understanding of the Indo-European lore of the thunder god and his relationship to the moon. Now, again, looking back at the Vedic scriptures, we get a deeper understanding of who the thunder god really was. Now, the Vedics worshipped Indra as the main deity, the ruler deity. And that's because Indra had connections to not just one aspect of nature. Indra had connections to the moon. He was the ruler of the moon and of the ambrosial nectar that was held within the moon. We talked about that in the previous video. He is also connected with the earth. He is the son of earth and the son of the sky god, which would be Deus Pitta. In the Germanic tradition, originally it would have been Tu. Tu was the god of the North Star, the god of the heavens. Later, Woden, the god of shamanically inspired awareness, consciousness, frenzied spiritual awareness. Woden later became the head of the pantheon, but originally it was Tu. So he has this connection to the atmosphere through his father Deus Pitta, or Tu. He has connections to the earth with his mother, which is the earth goddess. He has connections to the moon because he is Lord, ruler of the moon, and he is the one that controls the cycles of the moon. And then he is also the sun. Now, many people don't realize this, but the thunder god is actually the sun as well. Because when you think about it, what is it that controls what we view as the cycles of the moon? It is where the sun and the earth and the moon are placed. And so the light that shines off the moon is reflecting directly from the sun. And so when, you see the connection between the earth, the moon, and the sun. So Lunar, or Indra, was all three of these aspects. Now, it's important to understand that Lunar, being the god of lightning and thunder, being the god of electromagnetism, the more you look into physics and you look at what electromagnetism is, they are describing this complete connection here, because the sun has a tremendously powerful magnetic field within it. And when you see, when we have sunstorms or sunbursts, that's actually the magnetic field that twists in upon itself, and then when it resets, it shoots out these giant, I'm not a physicist, but forgive me if I don't get it exactly right, but this is what's happening. These magnetic waves are twisting in upon themselves and then exploding out. And so the magnetic power of the sun is incredibly strong. Now, according to Vedic mysticism, they believe that the sun worships Indra. And that makes sense, because the sun, if it weren't for the laws of electromagnetism, the nuclear, fusion, I believe, that goes on at the core of the sun, if it wasn't for the laws of electromagnetism, the sun would burn itself out very rapidly. So because the laws of electromagnetism slow that fusion down, that allows the sun to live much, much longer. So the Vedics understood this on some level because they believed that the sun worshipped Indra. Now, in terms of the moon, I just learned this recently, but the dust on the moon was a real problem for the astronauts. And the reason is because it wouldn't act like normal dust. It would get into things, once you hit the ground and got the dust up, it would just sit in a haze, in the air in front of you. And what they found out is that because of the chemical composition of the dust of the moon and how small it was, the electromagnetic properties of it were such that it acted very strangely. So what they found out is that electromagnetism was very strong on the moon for reasons different from the way we understand it here on Earth. So this again has this connection to electromagnetism, and that the moon has a very strong connection to Indra, the thunder god. So here we go. Again, another connection between Thor and Indra. So just to sum up, the thunder god is not just the god of thunder and lightning. He is also the god responsible for the release of the waters. He is the sun, the electromagnetic properties of the sun, which controls everything on life and controls the moon. He is the earth, and he is the heavens. The next one I'll talk to you about his connection with Jupiter and Mars.